Don't maze me, bro! I'm on an alternate timeline from 2007 from that reference, and we're journeying to the center of Westworld's maze on today's episode of Nerdist News. Well, partners, looks like we're reaching the end of this dusty trail that is Westworld Season Uno. Only one episode left till we say adios to Ford, Dolores, Bernard, and the rest of the gang down in the old Delos Corral. But don't get too teary-eyed just yet, hombres, because series creators Jonathan Nolan and Lisa Joy are going out guns a-blazing. The last few episodes have been like one big mystery-solving bonanza. Another Western. Is that an Easter egg? No, it's not. Giving us answers to almost all the questions that have been hovering over the series since its premiere way back in September. Now, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this week's episode of Westworld, or any episodes, what are you doing? You're gonna spoil things for yourself. We're gonna get spoilery, as in right now, because I'm about to reveal something. Are you gone? Okay, good. Is Bernard a copy of Arnold? Yes. Yes, he is. Is the Man in Black a Delos board member? Huh, you bet. Are we watching several different timelines at once? Oh, you know it, little dogies. We've been so spoiled with big plot reveals that it almost makes you wonder what's left. What could Westworld possibly be saving for its season finale next Sunday? Well, luckily, there's still one big mystery reveal over the horizon. What is the maze? What is it? I have to know. We've been hearing about this perplexing puzzle at the heart of the park for a while now, with no real hint at what it actually might be. But sure as shoot, there's a ton of theories out there, and we're rounding up our 3 favorites right now. It's a fan theory roundup, y'all. Yeehaw! Bang, bang, cowboy guns, cowboy guns, cowboy dab, cowboy dab. Oh, cowboys, they're great. All right, theory numero uno. The maze is actually a series of tests that the hosts have to go through to achieve true consciousness. Ooh. When we first see the maze map on the back of a host's scalp, it looks like there's a person you meet once you get to the center. But could all that talk about finding the center actually be an intentional misdirect? A red herring in the desert? What if we're looking at it all backwards? What if that person is actually at the start of the maze and they have to find their way out? And where would the start of the maze actually be? Well, the person at the center of the map sure looks an awful lot like a stick figure of drawing of a host when they first emerged from that weird milky life bath. You ever think about that? That bath stick? Ooh. So if that's the starting point, that would mean that every host is technically already in the maze, and they're trying to navigate their way out to that piece of cheese at the end, which in this case is free will. And I don't know about you, but when it comes to cheese, I have no willpower. Now, we already know that before his death, Arnold implanted code in the host that made them think they were being given commands directly from God. We've also seen Dolores following said commands, and as she does, she seems to break further and further away from Ford's control. She even seems capable of deceiving Ford, withholding information from him and disobeying orders in a way that other hosts simply cannot. Could it be that as Dolores delves deeper and deeper into Arnold's orders from the Lord, she's actually moving towards true sentience? It's possible, but we also seem to be seeing a more straightforward version of the host develops free will storyline happening with Maeve. This is an interesting counterpoint. As she commands those 2 lovably bumbling host techs to upgrade her, it seems like it's heading towards a parable about the difference between the approximation of free will versus actual free will, with Maeve realizing that no matter how many switches are flipped, she's still just the park's puppet. But I gotta say, it would still be pretty anticlimactic for the maze to be nothing more than a riff on a theme we've already seen so many times before. So there's gotta be something more to it, right? Well, that leads us straight to maze theory numero dos. The maze is actually a self-destruct switch for the park. What? Before his death, Arnold came to despise his once beloved Robo-World and wanted to see it destroyed. I mean, we even hear Dolores say in episode 5 that Arnold told her that she was going to help him destroy this place. So what if finding the end of the maze is the thing that triggers that destruction? I mean, after all, these violent delights have violent ends. It would line up with the Man in Black's MO throughout the series. He talks a ton about how the creator of this place had one final story to tell. And wouldn't it make sense that the final story would close the book on Westworld for good? It's also clear that the Man in Black fancies himself the best player in the game, so maybe, and just maybe, he wants to shut the game down before anyone else can beat his high score. Now, it's still way up in the air what this self-destruct switch could be, but it's safe to assume that it's probably not an actual literal self-destruct button, like a giant red button says like destroy Westworld and just blows up the park. Maybe it's like a trigger that grants all of the hosts sentience. Maybe Arnold wanted one of the hosts to develop sentience naturally before giving it to all of them. So basically, once Dolores gets there, the rest of the hosts will automatically follow suit. Now, this would help explain Ford's weird new storyline that's turning the techs into religious figures for the hosts. It could be his failsafe against this self-destruct button. So even if the hosts do develop free will, they're going to be conditioned to see the people who run the parks as deities who should be worshipped and obeyed. But speaking of gods, let's talk about theory numero tres. the maze is actually the god code that controls the entire park. When we see Maeve's control panel tablet thingy, there's something on there that looks an awful lot like a maze. So could finding the center of the maze actually refer to gaining control of the source code that all the hosts run on? The person who controls it controls the entire park after all. That's why the man in black wants it so badly. He's done being just a player in the game. He wants to be the game master. He wants to be the Matt Mercer. Or maybe, and just maybe, he wants to finally introduce a true element of danger into Westworld. Turn off the safety switch on the bot so he can engage in some real life or death gunplay. Personally, I love this theory because it reminds me so much of Wreck-It Ralph. Such a good movie. And I mean, whoa, holy shit. Could the man in black just be another King Candy in another cunning disguise? My God, you guys see? There's still so many plausible fan theories to be had. Oh my God, is Dolores Vanellope von Schweetz? So tell me, what do you think? Have we solved the maze or have we just hit a bunch of dead ends? Is Westworld gonna reveal all in its season finale or still leave a few mysteries for 2018 season 2? And what other ways will it tie into the Wreck-It Ralphiverse? Because I need to know. Let's discuss. And thank you to our sponsor today, Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest. If you hear someone yelling, hey, you got your classic Magic card game in my Match 3 RPG, or someone else yelling, you got your Match 3 RPG in my classic Magic card game, then they are almost certainly referring to Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest, which combines the two hyper-addictive genres into one. Grab it on the Apple App Store or Google Play now and check out the latest update, which adds brand new Eldritch Moon cards. Thank you, Puzzle Quest. You know how we were just talking about Westworld? Well, crazy thing, there's a brand new, extremely funny, extremely foul Nerdist comedy short that explains a lot about why Westworld is the way it is. It doesn't explain why we have a different actor playing Arnold, but hey, let's say we made it in a different timeline. What a coincidence. Anyway, join us today on Nerdist.com/Twitch for more convos on super important topics like these wild Westworld theories, and after that, there's a brand new Natural Selection live right here on YouTube at 4 p.m. Pacific time. Today, Kyle Hill and I are going to the galaxy far, far away to talk about what's cooler, Star Wars lightsabers and beam weapons versus IRL equivalents of the same thing. So check it out over on Nerdist.com, and don't forget to like and subscribe for even more Nerdist news.